Enza is an obedient and calm worker who works for Mr. Van. They're always arguing. Mr. Van finds Enza as a hard worker, but he is lazy to think. He sees him as a weak individual who lacks strategy and clever characteristics to deal and handle customers. No matter how much the customers deem Enza as an honest, kind, and hard worker. To Mr. Van, he is slow, unstrategic. Enza takes walks every day after work to hang out with his friends at the studio. There he meets other fellow artists who went to school with him. Enza himself is a drawer, a painter. He would show his artistic talents around the rapper, the animator, and a graffiti artist. They know him for his high openness to experience, curiosity, and deep emotional sensitivity. Around the studio, he is often expressive of his imagination, as if he is crazy and delusional. But in the studio, as many artists are like him, they already know it is normal to be imaginative and be delusional. That's where creativity comes from. He would often feel comfortable. Losing himself in the flow state, the unstructured environment allows him to feel free to expose his new eyes, use his feelings to fuel his work. His fellow artists know him as the mediator, a dreamer who often zones out and creates personal and emotionally driven ideas. He uses love principles for drawing. He is very extroverted in the studio, very engaging, sensitive, able to feel and concern for other fellow artists. He is spontaneous and flexible, able to perceive the ideas for other artists as if it was his. He prefers harmony over conflict. They would spend time decorating the studio, coming up with lyrics for music, high-intensity joy, and sorrows over animation styles. Enza does things to express. Enza leaves the studio to visit his friend Naki. Naki is the girl he has been interested in. She would let him in her house, chill with her family. She knows him as a sweet, quiet guy, reserved and funny. Around him, she would often be happy, laughing at his jokes. Around Naki, he is less sensitive. He does things to impress. He is more introverted. Naki is more extroverted around him. He always avoids eye contact with her, speaks very fast, showing nervousness. Naki always keeps eye contact, speaks slowly with confidence. Whenever he goes out in public, he prefers to avoid crowds. Naki always prefers to engage with people, leaving Enza standing behind. Whenever they are arguing, Enza would do anything to avoid conflict. He sees it as a way to keep peace. Naki prefers to be confrontational, as sees it as a way to solve the problem and make things clear. Both Naki and Enza grew to accept each other and are aware of individual personalities. However, Naki is a completely different person when Enza is not around. She goes to the casino to meet her business mentor Carla. She always avoids eye contact, taps fingers as she speaks to her, and sometimes repeats word when she is nervous. It's as if she is a complete different person when she is with Enza. As if she has different personalities, depending on who she is with. Enza knows her for her loud personality, and Carla knows her for her timid behavior. It's as if she lives two different lives. If Enza and Carla were to meet, they'd be surprised each one of them knows a completely different side of the same person. The reality is she is the same person, she just switches to the other sides of her personality depending on the individual she is with, the environment she is in, and the event she is involved in. Enza decides to take Naki on a date to his studio. His loud, confident girl, extroverted girl knows him as a chilled, laid-back, and introverted guy. In the studio, Enza completely switches to his extroverted and confident guy, greets his colleagues, and they start laughing and mumbling with high excitement. Naki is shocked, as if Enza, who is in the studio, is a completely different guy from the man who comes to her house every day to chill. The environment, his experience in the studio, and the artistic culture allows him to bring out his other personality that is completely foreign to Naki. She is impressed by his enthusiasm and confidence in the studio, but this worries Naki, Has she been dealing with a fake person? No, Enza is the same guy. He shifts his personality depending on the setting, the situation, and the surrounding. Those are his biggest influence. Naki saw the side of Enza she never saw before. She would often even ask him to be that way when she is around him, but the situation does not allow it. With Naki, his intention is to fall in love. That makes him anxious. At the studio, his intention is to create art. That makes him confident. However, at his job, he is there to work. He is always calm and obedient. Mr. Van, Naki and his studio colleagues are exposed daily to a different Enza. Some know him as shy and quiet. Some know him as confident and loud. Some know him as a lazy follower who does everything as told. He has one identity, but different personalities and behaviors depending on who is around. One has a different perspective of someone that is completely different from what the other person and the next person. Who knows you only knows the side you choose to show them.